And again, we're seeing another answer to the Lena in the Void Spirit, which is seems to be very hit or miss so far throughout the group stages. Like we've seen some rougher laning stages, then we've seen some laning stages that have actually gone a bit better than to be expected in the matchup.
Yeah, and also on top of that, we have to consider like who's it going to be playing in that mid lane? Is it going to be Dust? Is it going to be Bai? Who knows?
That is a good question because I still haven't really been able to get a read on how they've been playing it as well. Like if they like Dust being
Mm.
on these win condition heroes, or if it's maybe just three heroes, so to say, that he might feel a little bit more comfortable on than by. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Dire
and
team
I
pick.
mean, with the Lena and the Void Spirit, it's very much down to the
Radiant
individual
team
skill.
pick.
Like Lena has a slight edge, I would say, as we see one of the few Rubiks that we've actually seen all throughout. But why not? You get to avoid that most of the, let's call it, wind up time of the Light Strike array, and then of course the Rolling Thunder very effective as well. So why not? Seems like a pretty nice
10
Rubik
seconds
game for
remaining.
Kaka.
Yes, so far some pretty solid
5
abilities,
seconds
and
remaining.
this is also a support that I thought we were going to see a lot more than what we have so far. It really feels like Coddle, Disruptor, Silencer,
Shaker.
Omni Knight, yeah, Shaker's even
Radiant
been getting a lot
team
more
pick.
picks as well. Hasn't had as high of a success rate, but we'll see if Ruby can kind of join the pack, and the Elder Titan as well to a Chinese classic.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, any sort of way that you could just get this massive area control is going to be incredibly effective. And so
10
let's see what
seconds remaining.
position one core they're going to try and synergize together with it, right? Someone that's just
5
totally
seconds
happy to be
remaining.
running around, causing absolute havoc in these team fights. They've gotten rid of the Bloodseeker themselves. It wouldn't have been a bad Bloodseeker game for them to pick up, but you just can't run the risk of having a Pangolier completely nullified by it. And that's why I like where they ended up picking the Pango. That last pick out of the first stage, immediately banned out. They're not even comboing together with a Grimstroke. Grimstroke's not getting any love at all, actually.
Dire
Um,
team pick.
are there any like I'm trying to think some of the well, Ursa's one of those ones that's able to take advantage of not being kited and just being able to whack away for sure. Able to dish out a ton of damage.
I was thinking they might go for a little bit more of a weaker laner here. That Elder Titan can kind
10
of cover
seconds remaining. Radiant team
your
back.
weaknesses with potential like Deucer or Drow, just any range zero. They actually even for IG though, they pick up a melee. So Ursa's laning
It's not the best
stage,
laner.
yeah, for the Mars, you saying?
Yeah, I mean, at least you're going to be able to spear away the Ursa, I suppose. So if he tries to get
10
too aggressive
seconds
onto you, you
remaining.
can do that. You've also got the Rubik paired together, right? So you could try and bait him
5
in a little bit,
seconds
get
remaining.
him to try and rush you, telekinesis behind you, spear into
Dire
the tower,
team
and try
back.
and get a return kill in what should be an Ursa favored lane.
Yeah, especially with the Elder Titan as well, one of the best laning stage supports. Usually, I'd say like a Rubik Mars, you would give them the slight edge because of the double stun, and you've got a really strong level
10
two
seconds
opportunity to
remaining.
find kills. But I think ET early should disrupt that, and then
5
Ursa, once
seconds
he picks up
remaining.
his levels, he'll be able to man fight in that lane. So we're
Yeah,
looking.
this is one of the few situations where I actually want to see an Omni Knight come out right now for Team Magma. I feel like this is a good Omni Knight game. You can just put that Elder Titan in the position 4. He's going to do just
Radiant
fine.
team
You can
back.
build him up to be a little bit tankier.
Dire
And
team
then
back.
Ursa, as long as he's not dying in lane, I feel like he's going to have a fantastic game.
What are we looking for here on Magma? They got the 23rd pick. Is
Give me the Omni.
yeah, you've
I
my
want to
only
see Omni.
feels like ET though still is going to make the Ursa lane pretty free. Like
10
he's
seconds
such an
remaining.
incredibly strong laning
It gets
support.
2 stuns though, right? That's my issue with it
5
all.
seconds remaining.
How does Omni play this game into a global silence and a void spirit getting on top of you? And you're also playing into a Rubik. Like giving away any of those Omni abilities are not very good.
Radiant team pick.
It's not great,
Dire
right? But I
team
just
pick.
feel like you need to secure the laning
Templar
stage for yourself, and they're
assassin.
actually just going to go at TA. So it's a Lena Pos 4, Elder Titan 5, it seems.
We saw Magma being the only team to run the Lena as a support so far here for
Hmm.
Mian. And now for IG, what are some of the
10
position
seconds
ones that
remaining.
they can go into? Uh,
Mm,
5 seconds
I mean,
remaining.
you've already got the Mars, right, to be able to protect you against the TA and, to a lesser extent, the Lena. Ursa's going to be kited around a little bit by the the arena as well. Doesn't want to get locked in or out. Pangolier is basically the only one that has free movement before those BKBs come up online. So, Troll Warlord, huh?
Select
I
your
mean,
heroes.
blinds are going to be nice against the Ursa and the TA, but I mean, Troll really is in his element when he's able to man fight for a long period of time, and that's exactly what Bai is going to want on his Ursa. So, feels a little bit of an odd choice, if I'm being totally honest.
I'm
You're
just
also,
trying to.
just going to get disarmed by the Pango, right? So,
Ye-
makes life a little difficult for yourself.
Yeah, I was under the impression that the Pango matchup versus the Troll is pretty favored once the game goes on, because you've got a lot of
Mhm.
chain lockdown, disarm, of course, coming through with the lucky shot, and like Troll is definitely a hero that heavily relies on being able to consistently right click people. So I thought the Pango matchup was actually pretty decent. The lane will be Troll favored though, because Pango is not the greatest laning stage here, and you don't have a stun to set up here for the Lina LSA.
Lena could still get some decent harass off. It's against 2 range though, so you're going to get counter harassed. I'm also thinking just like when it gets later on, of course the lucky shot's good against the Troll Warlord just to be able to get that disarm on. But you use your Rolling Thunder. There's nothing really to counter it other than Rubik stealing it, so he's going to need to use that shield crash immediately as soon as he gets into the Rolling Thunder. But then afterwards, after the duration's expired, then just shield crash onto a bunch of units and then try and get in the face of the Troll Warlord so that even if he ulties, a big part of its effectiveness is going to be nullified. I could honestly see TZY just having that 60-odd% damage reduction and then
Prepare
just
for
tanking
battle.
up a battle trance.
We see a game where MagMa again going into the flexibility of the Lina, putting her as a position 4, which means we have the Templar Assassin once again up against the Void Spirit. This is multiple times now we've seen that this matchup should be pretty favored for Dust, who is still definitely one of the standout players here whenever we have seen MagMa play, and also TZY on his Pangolier too. And, well, do you feel like TZY... How is the Pango going to be enabled this game? Like, do you feel like we're going to see a replication of how we almost solo carried them to that elephant victory?
Potentially. I mean, you do have... They actually have this clipped. The Rubik was standing inside the vision of the Radiant Observer Ward. Sorry, so we might finally get the clash you've been hoping for,
Yeah.
Ares. The 5-on-5. I mean, it depends, right? Like, your game can be hindered if all of IG just opt to focus you down. You're against a Void Spirit, you're against a Silencer who could start to build up his, intelligent stolen
The
stacks.
battle
Mars, very good at
begins.
ganking as well. Rubik, it's so hard to run away. Kaka is actually caught underneath the tower with the Light Strike Array.
Kaka's looking ultra dead. Actually, should be... Yeah, they go.
But I'll secure it.
Even giving the kill over to the position 1. So much better here for MagMa.
My claws are red with the gore of first blood.
All right, well, that's a good way to start the game. I mean, the plus side is kind of differently to how Elephant played it against them that time, where they just full-on focused down TZY. If they're doing that, that means you've got a TA that's going to be freely farming, and we know how effective TA can be if you leave her on her own, even for a couple of minutes once she gets a few of those early-ish items.
Yeah. And do you feel like IG are going to be able to combat once the TA hits that couple item power spike here?
Potentially. I mean, you do still have pre-BKBs, the arena that you have to deal with. You can even just spear away. Troll Warlord with the blind coming through from Whirling Axes. Not that he's going to really want to be fighting up into them on Fly too much. He needs to get his farm early on as well. So, I mean, a TA, it's just going to be, do IG choose to make the answer to these early rotations and these early tower pushes that a TA is eventually going to go for once she gets that Desolator online?
Yeah, that's a question of how you can also prioritize her farming too. Like, I guess it's a little bit easier having a ranged hero in Lina in the top side of the map, and can even just aggro the hard camp with the Dragon Slave to potentially find some more stacks to heavily enable Dust, but kill keeping tabs down bot here, looking to see if IG look to get aggressive with their level 2s. The only issue is that Kaz is, again, I mean, this Elder Titan. Do you feel like overall this is a hero that you were a bit surprised that we're not seeing it as much through the group stages, or do you feel like that's kind of the read you had on the hero too?
I mean, particularly within the Chinese region, right? Like, it's always been so popular. Astral Spirit duration increased from 8 seconds to 10. So, especially in the later stages of the game, that's going to be incredibly impactful. Of course, Echo Stomp damage reduced very slightly, so maybe a bit less inclined to go it as a support. But, I mean, 2 whole seconds on Astral Spirit duration is pretty significant when you think about it.
Yep, and it's only got, I mean, maxed out a 7-second downtime then. So like you were saying, potentially if we do see these Elder Titan cores, which, you know, sometimes we don't get them often, but they are very exciting when we see the hero flexed in that regard.
They're even going to be going for a kill here. You can see the Earthshock skilled up by the Ursa. He's going to try and go in onto JT. Should get a spear back though, but will it be enough? Yes, it will.
Worthy of a god's
So this is a hefty amount of harassment early, and think.
Oh, very nicely done.
pop the
Cancels
salve?
out the salve. Yep.
I mean,
Be
now
careful they're going too deep though. Never mind.
And on Mars as well could be in trouble. It's got 2 stacks, make it 3 now. The Fury
Kaz is plenty
swipes, and
tanky though.
that is enough to help for Kaz to swing on forward and claim the kill. So a great start here for MagMa safe lane.
And it's all been enabled by the way that they've been able to manipulate the creep equilibrium. You know, it's always been constantly up next to their tower, so they couldn't go for that lift into spear into the tower play. And Ursa, I mean, they picked this matchup. They picked this Mars into the Ursa, so they should know that this is potentially going to happen. Already giving up a few kills, and he's having a great start to the game. So you would have to say, mid lane, it's going to be MagMa favored. Bot lane, MagMa doing a great job. And then on the top side, I mean, you've got Mian doing a pretty good job of harassing out. They're already out of regen on Ollie and Fly. He's got the magic stick at least, but you're under the risk of some kind of aggressive play onto them. Oh, they cancel another salve. They cancel the clarity as well. MagMa are having a fantastic early game. Oh, there we go. The slow. Ollie's dead.
Yeah, pops a fairy fire. TZY should be able to continue chasing through. Has Swash up in a couple of seconds here. Is that going to be enough with just a level 1? You see, maybe give a little bit of false hope to Ollie, because he backed off as Karka is even going to fall down bottom here. So this lane continuing to snowball out of control. You see the first blood paying dividends now for the Ursa.
Yeah, he's going to jump miss the courier at least. Actually, Mian, he's going to go underneath the tower and deny his life away. Not giving away any experience to the Dire team. It's just going to be completely refreshed when he comes back to lane. Pango dropping a little low here, but not going to be low enough, unfortunately, to pick up the kill. So in reality, this is a 5-0 going Magma's way.
It does look like Emo's having a relatively good time mid. I mean, 18-4 compared to the 16-0. In fact, his last hits wise doing a lot better. I wonder what the net worth is looking like. He's a little bit behind net worth, but yeah, very similar.
Probably as good as you could expect with this lane matchup. Very few heroes do well against the TA.
And he has some pretty decent side lanes to rotate to as well. I mean, the Mars Rubik, the Troll Silencer, definitely lanes where he can offer that last little bit of damage to find those key kills.
And even Kaz having the freedom to rotate through, snatch away the bounty runes. So Emo, he's going to maybe attempt to go for a kill, but Dust is still very tanky. Although that refraction's been removed now. Has to be careful about taking more damage or he's going to pop the clarity.
Emo?
He's just going to go for a kill instead.
Well, we were singing his praises, and unfortunately it just gives up a solo kill to Dust, so this lane is now going to get a little bit more difficult. Did he hit level 6 before he died? He didn't. So I was going to say maybe he could opt to rotate somewhere as Ollie. Or they'll pick up their second or first real kill, depending on how you want to call it, with that suicide before.
You can see here with Fly, he's definitely looking to go into the scaling type of Troll Warlord. It's basically hedging your bets, right? You don't want to run the risk of, if your early stage doesn't go well, which, let's be honest, it hasn't so far for IG, that you're not going to be able to catch up to an Ursa or a TA if you don't go this Battle Fury style and allow the rest of your team to try and do the heavy lifting in the early stages of the game.
And it does feel like Radiant have this incredible like 20-minute timing here where they get first Roche, able to then snowball down the lanes. I mean, both TA and Ursa are an incredibly fast Roshan takers. So this is something that Invictus Gaming are always going to have to keep tabs on, as Beyond should be able to pick up another kill here and even protect it from that beautiful Echo Stomp. I don't know if they can kill off Emo considering he just picked up his level 6.
Unfortunate that Mian picked up that regen rune, though. He had the Arcane Curse ticking onto him, so it would have been great if Dusk could have been able to bottle that one up, but he's still going to get the bounty rune and be just fine. I mean, you mentioned it before. They've got so much that's going to enable Roche to be taken. You know, the TA with the Meld, even just a Blightstone, Pango if he chooses to roll through with a Lucky Shot, and then an Ursa, of course, who's already going into the lifesteal. Might be in a little bit of trouble here, though.
JT, not enough mana for Spear, unfortunately. Now Ursa even thinking about going back in if the Echo Stomp found the connection. He's being really aggressive right now. JT continuing to hunt. Now he's got the turn potential. His rotations are coming through, but Kaz just does the dirty work by himself. He doesn't need the help of the Ursa. He'll do the last little bit of damage required to find that kill.
He's upgraded from being the businessman as well. The briefcase is gone. He's equipped the Infinity Gauntlet instead and able to punch him down. And now he's even got boots coming out to him. So good luck, Karkar, if you're out of position.
Bye-bye, Oli. This is quite the start here for Team MagMa. Were you expecting the lanes to go as well as what they did?
Probably the Ursa lane, yes. The first blood definitely helps, of course, just being able to chase down, get the early boots into the Orb of Venom. Mid lane, probably. Top lane, it's going about even for what we were expecting, but they got that early kill as well onto Ollie, so that was a little unexpected. As well, Fly spent a lot of time chasing around Mian, so they have a lot of repeating names in the Chinese region.
Yeah, they do.
As they go for a dive here.
Fly sidestep the first roll. I mean, there's not much a Silencer can really do to help out with this dive. Now you see the burst coming through at the last second. He will somehow get the battle trance, however. I thought they were able to kill him down for the nuke from the shield crash, but it's not enough. And now Fly will stand his ground thanks to the battle trance usage and helps secure a kill with the help of Ollie.
All right. Well, at least one of their lanes is going all right. You know, the Troll's getting a decent amount of farm. Ollie as well. He's participated in, is it every single one of their kills? No, only the 2. Kind of seems like more. But they're still having a fine time here. Fly is going to get an okay timing on his Battle Fury, which is good. But just having a look at the net worth graph, look at the difference. Nearly 1750 difference between this TA and the Void Spirit.
Rotation for Emo will get him back on the board and really help JT with the rougher start that he's had. But again, we're continuing to see the kills in the side lanes. Mian. It'll cost him his life to find the support in Ollie. And that's, again, I mean, we're starting to see a little bit more trades now from Invictus Gaming.
Throughout all of this, there was, I believe, just the hard camp stacked up previously for Dust, so he's been able to claim that one, increase his lead even further. Yeah, they were able to get the rotation towards the bot side on Emo, so that they can get the kill on the Elder Titan, but it was just an Elder Titan kill, right? It's not an Ursa. They're going to wait for the urn to tick out, and he's going to be totally fine with that salve put in onto him.
JT,
Careful though,
so that's the ultimate. He'll pin up the bear, but Emo's still opting to try and take the man fight, knowing that the Enrage is on cooldown, which is a lot of the survivability from the Ursa at this stage in the game. But he still is unable to man fight. These Fury Swipes already maxed out. Can they kill the bear? They cannot. Oh my lord, somehow he's still alive, but JT and Ollie will get some silver lining here with the kill on the Elder Titan, and JT is still wanting the Ursa kill. He's got Spear up, but a nice sidestep, and now JT, I mean, he's just
no, they're gonna get him.
This bottom
This is
lane.
going horribly for IG. They're even losing the mid tower.
He just all chatted. What?
Using the dot. I mean, that's
doesn't feel
that's
fitting.
Almost reaching question mark territory.
It does not feel fitting without the question mark. Like, why the dot instead of the question mark? I don't know.
Well, maybe that's the MagMa thing now, right? You know, IG have the question mark. It's all about the punctuation. Who's going to go for the exclamation?
But then the thing is that it's the mental warfare. If you use their own thing back on them at a more successful timing, TZY gets some damage mitigation. Even the Big Bad Bear coming back to the bottom lane and does an early blink pickup as well as Emo fortunately running the opposite direction of any escape, and it's just really trying to delay as much time as possible here.
So another kill being claimed onto Emo, who's sitting easily the lowest of all of the cores. Dust did use his TP to come onto the bottom side though, so he's going to claim up this stack here. Do they have any stacks built up in the Dire Tricamp? No, they don't. So that's at least a little bit of a... I mean, that's good, actually, in this scenario, because Dust is so farmed that he could just easily go in and claim them away without too much fear of repercussion. You know, you can see TZY, he's walking back to mid. I like that. Not wanting to use his TP scroll so that he's free to rotate. And, well, here we go. 11.5 minutes, just smoking on into Roche.
Yeah, this has already got that clutch lifesteal to enable this early Roshan. And, I mean, even though the Urshock did get nerfed a little bit from the Ursa,
I mean, all the lanes are pushed in. What can you do about it? They're going for a smoke to try and find someone in the jungle, but that's not where they are, IG.
Yeah, even though the Urshock did get nerfed a little bit, it still feels like this is a hero that heavily relies on his second Roshan timing of picking up that Aghanim's shard. So there was a lot of emphasis at the end major with, if this is a hero that doesn't snowball his timings and finds that second Roshan at an early stage in the game, then you can start to see him fall off as the game goes on. But with how this pace is going, it's on point for MagMa at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, mid lane punished. Emo is nearly lower level than Mian. That's how bad of an early game he's having. Well, he's going to be used to use all of his abilities. He still doesn't have a ton of items, so his mana pool is basically non-existent. 370 remaining. Only the Urn of Shadows and the Wand giving him a little bit of stats.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Do you feel like IG are at a stage where they can actually even defend their towers? I mean, they're trying to at the moment on JT, but it doesn't have many heroes nearby, and JT just gets pierced down from the Laguna Blade.
I mean, unless they start getting kills, they only take the shield crash away, so good use of that. Karkari is going to be able to protect himself a little bit. Never mind, it didn't actually land onto anyone. And TZY is able to clean it up. They're all just going to constantly be balling up and pushing down lanes. And, well, a Void Spirit sitting in the jungle, that's not going to catch you up on experience. He's still level 8. You can compare that to the TA, nearly hitting level 13.
Silver linings for Invictus Gaming is the fact that this Troll Warlord is in fact higher net worth than the Ursa, who had a stellar laning stage performance with a 403 kill count here. But Fly, he's been farming up around the triangle for quite a while, and now with his Battle Fury freshly completed at an incredible timing, they have to be cautious if they continue to give the Troll free space here on MagMa.
They do, but I feel like they're going to be getting plenty done on the map in the meantime. Only 1,200 gold away from the Desolator. You've still got that Aegis for the next 3 minutes, and, well, Fly's not in a state to fight right now. He's gone the Battle Fury, and they don't have the freedom to go for the likes of a, not that a Troll really builds it anyway, but an Echo Saber into a BKB, right? Just to get that little bit of extra efficiency early on. No, he needs to rush that BKB, because unless they take a few fights and somehow come out with a win on IG, they're going to be pushing the territory where they just go for that early GG again. I mean, we've seen time and time again that they are not afraid to GG out if they feel like it's a lost cause.
I have been very impressed with how we've been seeing Trolls though scale into the late game and be able to man fight, you know, the likes of a Sven, so to say. So we'll see if Fly can get to that stage, but down 6,000 gold, how do you feel like they can delay? Do you want to see them just completely avoid fights and try and just shove out the side lanes?
But they don't really have the heroes to do that, you know, unless Karka is able to steal something from the Lina, the Dragon Slave, then you're actually capable of doing it. The Void Spirit, somewhat capable as well, but Silencer, not so much. Troll Warlord, he can't expose himself in a lane unless he's got a number of heroes nearby to back him up. So it just feels like it's going to be so difficult to do that, especially against this MagMa lineup that has a ton of wave push. You know, you've got a Lina, you've got a TA, and you've even got the Maelstrom on the Pango.
He's so close to the MagMa heroes. He'll sidestep the LSA and, or even just making sure there's no extra way to further jump the Void Spirit, dropping the ultimate there from Oli. But it does cost him his life, nonetheless, so a pick off potentially into the tier 2 mid.
Desolator available now. Dust's got it coming out to him. Still a minute and change left on that Aegis. Don't think they're going to be able to protect this siege creep, unfortunately enough, and they've still got the glyph. But, I mean, it's kind of clutching at straws at this point. You've got to avoid the fights for the next minute or so. Well, I think you need a full-on team fight with all of your ultimates available, so they're going to need to wait the full 100 seconds until Silencer has his global available again.
Yeah,
Will that give them time to pick up?
Radiant's top tower is under
Got
attack.
the Blink Dagger on Mars. They'll have probably not the full BKB on Fly, but maybe they'll have the Yule Scepter on the Void Spirit, which can be decent, but it's not great defensively against anything that they've got right now on MagMa. It has to be an offensive tool used for pickoffs, and if they play it right, they're going to stick together. There's no reason to split up right now on MagMa.
And they've missed one of the deer wards at the moment around the triangle. We'll see if Silencer can find
Dire's bottom tower
the ward
is under
placement at the
attack.
moment, because, I mean, without finding the wards, it's a bit of an issue. You're still kind of hesitant if the troll can freely farm there, or if he is, then, you know, potentially underneath vision, and you just want to give him as much free farm as possible and just...
Dire's structures are fortified.
He's on an edge right now. Like, if he dies once, then maybe the possibility of coming back to this game just, you know, decimates by like 10%. But if they can continue to allow him to just have a flawless game, just slowly ramp up that GPM, then maybe Fly can get to that BKB timing, and then with that item, they could look to fight.
I feel like it can get to the BKB timing, and you can see the Yule Scepters now available on the Void Spirit, which is good. No Aegis, but only 200 gold away from a Blink Dagger on the Ursa. So he's going to look to get it onto the back lines, pop his overpower super early, so that even a Global Silence isn't going to be able to save the likes of the Rubik or the Silencer. There we go. Picks it right on up. See, we got the Fey Grenade. I mean, can't think of anything that's going to make any kind of chase downs easier than that. All of IG just rallied around Fly.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
I think the biggest timing that you're going to have to be worried about here is his second Roshan. IG, I mean, it's still may respawn in 2 minutes, so there'll definitely be a BKB by then. Hopefully another itemization, maybe for your other cores as well, because that is the one time you're looking... Like, you have to get your items by then, because if you don't, then giving away the second Roshan with the potential of the Aghanim shard is a scary force to be reckoned with. There's Ursa.
Oh, they found Fly.
Rack up another kill, Fly.
It's
Can he cut through the trees? Yeah.
How's the guessing?
Oh my god, turn around! He's like... He smashed onto the left wheel there. He was trying to turn the angle. Just couldn't hit it.
The Tokyo Drift, unfortunately, was not enough. Standing right on top of Emo. Are they going to go for a blind light strike array? Yes, they will.
Wow.
Radiant's middle tower is under
I mean, that's your
attack.
position too, just getting shredded. And Dust's even going to try and jump for more. 3 hits Oli, kills off the courier as well with the side blade. That was the Blink Dagger. It might have been the detection as well, but JT can drag him out of the meld. The rest of the reinforcements are starting to come through from MagMa, but they're a little bit too late, unfortunately, to keep Dust alive, as Kaka gets some revenge for him sniping the courier.
That's so dumb that you can get rid of the courier with the side blades. I'm sorry. Like, all the different things that can kill it. I'm kind of okay with, you know, a Co-op Sonic Wave being able to kill a courier. But side blades? Come on. You know, that's not an ultimate. That's just random luck, basically.
Or you could argue with get better kid, don't micro there.
I mean, are you really thinking that? Were you expecting the courier to die there?
I'm just devil's avocado. That's all it is.
I'm a fan of avocado.
Avocados, it doesn't have the right texture for me. I don't know. Not the avocado man.
What happened to you in your childhood that made you think like that? You're from Melbourne. You kind of have to. It's a prerequisite. Is they going to run into TZY here?
They even dropped the Global Silence just to secure at least a kill on the Pangolier, but maybe that pickoff is enough to get an objective out of it. I don't believe they scouted out Roshan, however.
I don't think they had the damage to take it out. And that was the global popped as well. Oh,
Emo.
Dust.
Finds a start, the LSA off the mark. Ursa looking to try and jump on the backline, but they've caught the Templar Assassin as Dust trying to protect himself in the melee, but won't be able to do so successfully. As there's that timing from Invictus Gaming, the BKBs.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And until, I mean, Ursa gets his own BKB as well, JT, that arena usage was pretty goddamn on point. Like, yes, the Silencer just got targeted down by the bear, but how's he going to be able to get inside the arena? Like, if you Earthshock in, that's a very heavy commitment.
It is, and I mean, it just shows the importance of him having this BKB as well available for himself. Sure, the Blink Daggers enabled them to get a couple of kills onto the supports. Well, this will definitely make things easier with the Global Silence Fuse. No arena available as well, so now that the change happened in 7.3 with the Mars, of course, not having the 75-second cooldown at level 2. Still at that 90 seconds, so they're not going to be able to have this to contest into the second Roche. And IG, they're in position to try, but they're just a little bit too slow.
Do they still want to take a fight, though? Big advantage now on the Ursa with the Aegis. Aghanim Shard hasn't been equipped just yet.
Maybe he's waiting until he's next to the secret shop and it's instant. Yep, there we go. But yeah, it's all about building into the BKB now on MagMa. With IG, you know, they've given themselves a small chance in this game. Again, Flyfly is doing a good job of being able to farm. He's got his BKB available, and they want to get that basher through so that they can lock down the likes of, you know, the TA in particular before she's able to get off her second round of defensive spells.
What was looking like a solid opportunity to get themselves back in the game for Invictus Gaming. I mean, they were cutting the net worth lead after that previous fight, but now it's just skyrocketed back in the favor of MagMa after finding the Roshan. TZY is going to be cautious. Oh, Kaka just loses vision. No bueno.
So close. What's their vision looking like right now on MagMa? It's pretty defensive. I feel like they're going to be wanting to play around the top side so much more, right? Because you're against a TA. That's where she's going to be a lot more likely to farm. That's where you're feeling a little bit safer on MagMa as well.
Radiant's
And bottom side, there's really not
under attack.
any objectives that are going to
Dire's
enable you
middle
to
tower is under
make sure there's the
attack.
tier 2 bot, right? But it's just so much harder to buy back and deliver reinforcements if you need to, if you're fighting down on this bottom side of the map. But MagMa, they're going for an aggressive smoke here without the TA and without the BKB picked up yet on this Ursa.
Just looks like the low dodge fights at the moment from IG. And Boots of Travel was picked up on Emo. So they are completely avoiding anything that MagMa dish out of them on the map.
Radiant's top
Importantly
tower
now
is
as well,
under
even if
attack.
you're able to use that that Blink Dagger to get in onto the backlines, Ollie, he's finished up his 4 stuff, so a little bit of survivability. Of course, the Diffusal Blade's still going to make things difficult, and Kaka, he's got the Blink and the Ghost Scepter available to himself, so...
I thought they were going to avoid fights. Instead, they want to look for an instant pick off and kill off the Ursa. So as this
just the
second life
Aegis, though.
potential, but exactly right. That's just the Aegis now with the Rolling Thunder charge up. The Troll isn't able to get the BKB off before he dies. The Ursa split is fast enough. Kaka, it's quite the small Rolling Thunder here. He's still going to charge on forward. Kills off the Aegis, but it costs him his life. JT looking for a bit of a rebuttal on the higher ground. Really solid placement of the arena, but man, that
just a
chain
pause
lockdown.
Yeah, the Lina doesn't care all that much. I mean, her mana pool was halfway gone. You're not going to make a huge amount of impact anymore on Mian Mian, and they even used the glyph. I'm kind of feeling like they could go for the high ground push, you know, try and force a buyback, at the very least get some decent damage onto the tower, but no, they just want to extend their lead a little bit further. What's TA got coming out to her? The Dragon Lance, of course, just wanting to buff up everything about that stupid Sideblade's ability, and having the Grove Bow as well just makes this game so hard for IG to come into unless they're able to get onto her and just 100-0 burst it down.
There is a 5-level disparison between the position 2s right now. So Emo's not having the greatest time. You even take a look at the net worth too. That's a lot larger than what you'd be hoping for. And he had a pretty decent start to the laning stage as well, which we weren't expecting as much until he got solo killed.
He's gone for the meld dispels as well, which is going to be pretty nice against the whirling axes. You know, you're a TA. You don't want to be able to force to pop that BKB super early, just for the protection against the disarm. Continuing to chase down here.
This is really good for them if they can reset.
It's a big if.
Yeah, that's the question though. Beautiful use of the chain lockdown from TZY. But Daichi, just in the nick of time, gets his defensive capabilities off. Meanwhile, Ursa's just diving a tier 3 tower, ripping apart the silencer. Now, once again, the Troll Warlord is able to get the BKB off in the battle trance at the last second. Now, the spear, enabling Firefly to man-fight the Ursa. He'll win the matchup at the moment, but a lot was committed as Firefly dragged further and further away from his high ground protection.
Brute force was never enough to best me, troll.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Other than the people that support IG, you know who's probably looking at this game and thinking, come on, man, what do I have to do? It's Asta Ares. You know, they finally got the huge victory against Vici Gaming yesterday.
Emo? Looking for a solo pickoff, and he
Oh,
won't
he
find it.
dodges out.
Nice use of the Yules. Now, Emo, he heavily committed for that pickoff. He thought he was going to get in and out. A quick flyby kill, but that's not the case.
He thought he was going to get that delayed damage coming through from the Astral Step, but a good timing on the Yules there by Mian. Mian dodges it out, and yeah, they're able to get the return kill. Really nicely done there. Yeah, Asta Ares finally getting their first win on the board, putting them level with MagMa. But can you imagine if MagMa just respond and say, well, we're going to beat IG instead?
That would be quite the way, considering MagMa did previously beat Asta Ares. And got to keep in mind as well is that the only team, there's only one team that gets eliminated here. We've top 2 will make it to the upper bracket, and then the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th place teams will start in the lower. And unfortunately for the 7th, which it looks like MagMa are there currently, but with how they're looking in this game 1, it's very convincing at the moment.
Here, he's under vision. No shocks are used.
Found the
second in range,
Ursa.
though.
He's got the BKB and right next to the tier 2 towers, so the reinforcements have shown up. JT is just going to have to eat the damage and hope the rest of the team can make it away.
Immediate D-Ward coming out too from Kaz, realizing, well, that's the only time you're going to make that kind of play in onto an Ursa is when you've got complete vision, good understanding. Might even get the secondary one here. Yes, he will. And it feels like IG have not had control over their outpost for a very long time. So not only is the net worth going a good way in MagMa's favor, it's also the experience graph that's nearly reaching, what is that, 16, 17k ahead?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And there's just an influx of items starting to be picked up as well. A Force Staff for Kaz, I believe, Aghanim Shard for TZY, a Blink Dagger for Mian. This is a party right now with all these new items.
Oh, I love it from Bai as well. He's going the nullifier, you know? You've got these defensive items on the supports in particular who are his main target at the start of these team fights. Ghost Scepter, going to be useless. Force Staff, useless. So, hell, even the Void Spirit, right? Emo's going to be in a very vulnerable position with that Yule Scepter if he doesn't see it coming.
We'll see. That's the big question, if they can burst through those supports, isn't it? Because the defensive factors, you know, once you get the nullifier, will mitigate them very heavily. And there's so much emphasis on killing off the Silencer and the Rubik, just because of how much teamfight prowess they have as the game goes on.
They're so focused on having JT and Emo be able to tank up at least a little bit of damage. They just swapped out their neutral items, not holding the Enchanted Quiver anymore. Blast Rig now on Emo.
Dude, can you burst the Ursa? They'll try and start. Overlaps it with the Global Silence as well, but the Ursa is going to end up falling. Now Firefly with the Battle Trance too. Thus getting a little bit of distance away, but the BKB on cooldown, they can target him through and through, but it's not going to matter because the Rolling Thunder from TZY gives Templar Assassin enough time to be able to kill the troll, but it's still going to cost him his life. As the battle in the river, MagMa come out on top though. Kaka is going to try and scurry off to the western side. It was a great use of the Rolling Thunder. You know, either teams, though, we saw how impactful they could be in a choke point like that.
buyback was forced on the Ursa, so you might say there's a win condition open up a little bit here. It's a really long Roche spawn timer though, so they know that it's not up available yet. One of the advantages, of course, of having the TA is that you can just plant a trap there and have complete understanding of the area, and the Void Spirit Illusion's in there as well. So you would have to say that the last fight that IG might opt to take is when Roche is going to set to respawn. Illusion's going to despawn before it's up, but at least they'll have a rough idea that it's going to be up there after the despawn in the next 30 seconds or so.
Was that some positives there for Invictus Gaming in that team fight? Like, even though there was a pretty hefty loss, is there anything they can kind of take out of it that might instill some confidence in them? As well, Emo, again, I mean, he's going for this cute try and pick off play and then get away, but you've got to reset. Ooh.
He's got no reset, he's got no buyback, but he does have the spider legs that he was able to snatch that TCY got from that neutral camp.
I was like, what? Is he going for the kill, or I didn't see the spider legs drop? Okay, that makes sense.
Still, though, giving yourself up, he's not looking too healthy on the net worth, that's for sure. And he swapped back in. He realizes that the Blast Rig doesn't really do all that much because MagMa, they're very quick to commit with their BKBs. So the Blast Rig's not going to do all that much. 8 armor when compared to your burst potential of having the Enchanted Quiver just doesn't feel quite as impactful. Mars, though, I think he's still... Actually, he switched into having the spider legs for himself. Okay, just a little bit more of that maneuverability in the fights. Flyfly's got one as well.
Again, they're going to try on the Ursa. Got some heroes behind him. Can't couple lead, but with the enrage at the last second before they jump, now he's got so much mitigation here. We'll try and lap the global silence to burst through the Ursa. Flyfly target him down at the moment, but he doesn't have too many heroes nearby. And now Invictus Gaming, a full retreat, but there's the spider legs. Flyfly, can he get away? He cannot. It was a nice attempt on that high ground post, but unfortunately they have an instant answer. They both stuck there for a little bit.
They can hop down.
They're holding hands. It's just a little 1-2 smooch after they get the kill.
Exactly. I don't know if that's legal where we're from, a bear and a fire lady, but well, they know that Roche is up. Of course, the TA trap. I feel like it needs the same sort of treatment as the Ember Spirit Flame Remnants, right? That it just doesn't give vision, you know? I feel like that's one way to go towards balancing this TA a little bit more.
What does the traps do then? Just slow?
It slows. Yeah. I feel like that's pretty powerful. And as well, you know, you've still got the Ag Shard that can buff it up to be able to silence for 3.5 seconds from an enormous range.
I think there are a lot of other things they could do to the Templar Assassin to nerf her a little bit heavier than getting rid of the vision.
Look, ever since my Wyvern got the nerf back...
Yeah, I understand.
I'm a little bit vengeful.
I understand. Yeah, it does make sense. Everyone else...
Was that a shard or was that a...
Scepter.
It was the TA. Oh.
Here's the more hate. Hater.
Get it out.
I mean, I'm still not... I'm on the same board with you that TA should have been nerfed heavier. I cannot... Just... What, so... What did they change to it? 1.5 seconds and you just can't use it while you're rooted or leashed. That's a... On the back line here. Meow will fall.
I mean, it was just busted before. Now it's like... It's powerful. You know, it's like this... There's nothing else they can really do to it without just removing the spell entirely in my eyes. If it made it 2 seconds, I think that's a little bit too long. There's no real point to it. You would fall down the priority for, hell, even what gets it from Roche. And by the way, nearly level 25 now on this TA, so all of these aggressive movements that IG are going to start to make, they're 22k net worth down already. And, you know, if you have the extra refraction instances, then good luck bursting her down before she's going to be out of that chain stun.
You have seen, though, IG, like, it looks like they're on the board of just bursting through the Ursa to start the fight. You know, they're starting with telekinesis, then follow up with spear and instantly global silencing, so there's no extra protection coming through from, say, like a rolling thunder.
Bash onto TZY.
It's got the A on disc, so we'll be enabled to pop the ult with the global silence once again. Flyfly, he's found the Templar Assassin instead of the Hurricane Pike. Dust is actually on the high ground, so looking to try and continue with the man fight, but the Acrosome giving Dust some extra protection here. Now Flyfly again has wasted so much to start the fight. He's continuing to get kited, but now we can lock onto TZY. Arena also blocks in the Elder Titan as well, but can they fight the bear? Your Scepter, at least they're on board with looking to kite through the position 1 on Team MagMa. 3 versus 3. Can they lock this down to a 2v3? It looks like MagMa are going to be the ones to be able to do so as Fly pierced down thanks to the help of Laguna Blade.
Could have gone even better for IG there. It was a rare error coming through there from Kaka. You know, the shield crash was used prior to the Rolling Thunder, so he could have potentially got off that spell steal and be able to survive against the aggressive movement coming through from Bai, who just picked up that nullifier. So would have provided them a lot more utility in that team fight and stopped the Troll Warlord from popping all of his defensive so early.
Drag back Dust. I feel like they don't have a whole lot of damage without the Troll at the moment. They're still going to make an attempt, but he has the extra life to play into. Maybe they can force a second round here. As Dust is falling quite low, but now the Bear's going to jump in once again. Ollie will end up falling.
A little bit odd to me that they ended up giving the Ags over to, not the Ags, the Aegis over to the TA, considering Bai was the one that fought back previously. Ebo is getting caught out again. Will he be enough to burst him?
Just gets to dissimulate. And our Ursa did commit pretty heavily in. But you see, no one wants to fight him at the moment. They're unable to even have an opportunity to do so with a beautiful Earth Splitter like that. Drags back 2 heroes. They find so much damage here as it's looking like the inevitable is they had to wait for Fly, but MagMa aren't giving them that opportunity. They're even going to go back in once again. So many buybacks continuing to be forced out here. DZ Wide charging up the Rolling Thunders. But that might be too deep of a task. As soon as I say that, though, the Ursa jumps. Fly first hit bash once again, but a beautiful timing on the Yule Scepters, kiting Fly at the moment. But JT, an even better speed, drags him back and pins him to the tier 3 tower. And now they can try and target down Dusty. So as the Aegis for another 40 seconds here. Looking at Blade. I mean, look at this position 4 and how much you're providing on the Lina. Now they can go back in. The strength in numbers on MagMa.
Radiant's
Strength of
bottom
information
tower
as well,
is under
TCY.
attack.
He's making good use out of these Rolling Thunders, making sure to use them immediately after the spell steal is on cooldown from the Rubik, and they're just giving Dust over the Solar Crest. You know, he's allowing him to be the sole one sieging down these towers with, of course, that refraction damage instances. Arcane Curse, pretty good at being able to take it out, but it's got to the point where it just seems so
They're going to
hard.
make an attempt. They know the Aegis is ticking out soon. Dust is
10
just able to
seconds.
get the blink away, however. 4 on
Gotta keep
4.
chasing him.
They
You
got to
brought back
continue the
this.
kiting. Oh, Ursa's got to be careful. Fly playing on a nice edge.
Radiant's bottom
He
tower
doesn't want to
Aegis
pop the
reclaimed.
BKB battle trance too early, but then if he waits too late, he might just get bursted.
He was thinking about going back in, and well, now on the Ursa, you've at least got that buyback available. It's the 38-minute mark, so Emo, he's trying to get the most out of this that he can. Just quickly pick up an item. The Witchbane is going to be fairly nice. Not so much on IG's side, but you know, if they're able to pick one up on MagMa, you can get out of that global silence, which we have still yet to see. Come on, guys.
Fly's... I was going to say, does he want to hold the Witchbane or the Leveler? And in fact, he's holding the Witchbane at the moment. Interesting, because I thought the Leveler would have been very nice for a hero that relies on getting those further stacks as fast as possible, and he just hasn't...
The only other thing that I can think of is that with the passive, it's like an extra instance of damage. So each time you hit, you're actually taking off 2 of TA's refraction charges.
True, yeah, I'm not sure if that's the case or not. Because there's
I would
some that
assume
is
so.
and some that isn't.
Like Silences is, for example, the Glaives of Wisdom.
Yeah.
Overload on Storm Spirit is. I imagine it would act the same way.
With the 25,000 deficit for Invictus Gaming, the main importance is they haven't lost any set of barracks just yet. So objectives, yes, they're a bit behind in that regard, but it's not like they have to go up against the mass advantage that Super Creeps can provide on the map.
That Stormcraft is so nice. They gave it over to the Lina,
This
just
could
being
be
able
a
to get out
decent
of that
spot.
silence.
I have this high ground ward, and Radiant looking for a smoke up.
No.
They need the information, and Dusk's got the instant jump on forward as well, but the global silence at least enables them some opportunity to get the BKB off, but all eyes are on Fly, and who is able to target down? In fact, he just eats the double LSA. They're trying to kill off the Templar Assassin, but she gets a Psionic Projection away. Now Fly just has to resort in popping the BKB, but he can't lock onto anyone. So now with the magic immunity, Fly has to offer the retreat. They continue to hunt, continuing to prowl him on the back line, but yeah, Bayern is so far, he's locked onto JT. Spear gives him some extra positioning, but still the Laguna Blade again. Time after time, this Lina is doing so much damage in these fights.
I mean, the Ursa's making these fights essentially like a 4v3. You know, he's dealing with both of the supports on the back lines. They have no way to try and slow him down ever since he picked up that nullifier. So it's just every single team fight, you've got so much more control, so much more damage on MagMa's side, and well, if they just keep continuing, those Raxes are eventually going to fall. You're against a TA after all.
Regeneration.
We're still yet to really see Fly be able to completely have a man fight where he's able to stand his ground with an opposition. They are heavily kiting him through and through, and it does not look like it's going to get any easier.
As well.
He was to set up. Now TZY will charge up the Rolling Thunder, still with the BKB up in a couple of seconds, but the chain lockdown is there. They've gone a bit deep here, but Fly just hitting a BKB target who's not going to do a whole lot of damage. Look, what that Star Blade was from nowhere.
Yeah.
The range is still so ridiculous. The battle trance gives him no protection as Invictus Gaming will end up losing game one. What a stellar performance from the underdogs in MagMa.
Yeah, for sure. And that GG, I'm sure they're breathing a huge sigh of relief on MagMa after, I thought, yeah, it was a very nice draft coming out for them, drafting 2 winning lanes. Honestly, they didn't even draft the lanes, right? They drafted this Mars into the Ursa, which, I mean, I suppose it was trying to be in response to the Lina, right? Prevent a lot of her damage when these team fights do eventually start. But if you're giving up your laning stage that hard, you run the risk of this snowball effect happening, with MagMa just able to dominate 2 of the lanes, break even on the other one, take early objectives, and then, yeah, pretty easy snowball.
I'm really intrigued on, do you remember, in fact, what IG banned in the first phase, off the top of your head?
IG banned a Clockwork and forget what the other hero was.
That's all. Yeah. So I feel like heading into this next game, we might see a Pango ban and a Lina too. I mean, Lina did 27,000 damage. Really, when Team MagMa look at their best is when they have these 2 heroes, especially Pango. Like TZY is playing it at such a phenomenal level, and I mean, Lina, the amount of bursts that she was able to provide, I mean, level 23 in the end, she had the 3rd highest damage on her team, and well, in fact, the 3rd highest in the game, which is just a ridiculous score count to have as a position 4, and that flexibility they could now provide on Team MagMa. You know, we haven't seen other teams really try and opt to run the Lina that much as a support, but MagMa is still showing that this hero is incredibly strong. It doesn't matter what role you put it on her.
Yeah. Actually, scrap that. The Clockwork was banned by MagMa. It was in response to having that Lina first pick, so you want that flexibility of, you know, not having him just get on top of you and nullifying a lot of your effectiveness. It was the Nyx and the Coddle. So I'm not sure exactly what the Nyx was going to counter for what they eventually went for with their lineup, but Coddle, understandable that they wanted to get rid of it. I do think you need to take care of this Pango, or put a little bit more emphasis on having the first pick for yourself so that you're able to ban out, for example, the Lina, and then just pick up the Pango for yourselves.
Well, MagMa, an incredible game 1 performance from them. They now have the advantage heading into this best of 3. They're still going up against the dogs on Invictus Gaming. They're the incredibly strong ones, and with how aggressive they're able to play in all of these games, we'll see if they can bring back that mentality here. But it was Team MagMa, the ones that were able to beat them down in game 1. We'll see if it's going to be the same case in our second game.